Hello and welcome to one of my first videos. Today I'm going to demonstrate how I built a module which will communicate the status of a door, whether it's open or closed, from an auxiliary unit to a centralized hub unit using 433 megahertz RF communication. So on this first breadboard here, I've got an Atmega 328 microcontroller. This is the same chip that's used in the Arduino Uno. I just mounted it onto this breadboard here. You can see the power and ground lines, the 16 megahertz crystal oscillator, and then I have a reset button over here. Off to the left I have a 5-volt regulator running off of a 9-volt battery. Next you can see my 433 megahertz RF transmitter, a Hall effect sensor, and an LED that I've set up to display the status of the Hall effect sensor. On the secondary board here, which is my hub, I have an LCD display with a trim pot that controls the intensity of the LCD backlight. I have a 433 megahertz RF receiver module with a little antenna that I made, and a 5-volt voltage regulator. And then this is an Arduino Pro Mini microcontroller. So for these modules, what I'll be doing is by applying this magnet to the Hall effect sensor, the microprocessor will see the change in voltage on the digital read pin and will send an RF signal to the receiver on the centralized module, which will then display the status of the door, whether it is open or closed, on this LCD. So if I take the magnet here and I put it over the Hall effect sensor, you'll see that the LED changes from on to off, and as I toggle it, you'll see that the door goes from closed to open. Ultimately, what I would like to do with this is have it viewable through a web browser via a web server that I can output to an Android application or a web browser.